On a cold night, Imad decided to spend the weekend at the old family house on the village's outskirts. This house had been abandoned for many years after his grandfather's mysterious death. Everyone in the village avoided talking about the house, believing it to be haunted by evil spirits. But Imad didn't believe in such superstitions. Imad arrived at the house with his small bag and lit an old lamp in the entrance. The air inside was heavy, the walls covered in dust and cobwebs. Imad began exploring the rooms, reminiscing about his childhood spent with his grandfather. However, he noticed something strange: there was a room upstairs he didn't remember. His curiosity drove him to explore it. When he opened the door, he found himself in a small room lit by a single candle. In the center was an old mirror with a golden frame. What caught his attention was his reflection. It didn't appear natural. At first, he thought it was just an optical illusion due to the poor lighting, but he noticed his reflection moving slowly, even though he stood still. Suddenly, he saw a shadow behind him in the mirror. He quickly turned, but there was no one there. When he looked back at the mirror, his reflection had entirely disappeared. Fear gripped him, but he tried to convince himself that his mind was playing tricks on him. He decided to leave the room, but the door wouldn't open. He began hearing strange noises, faint whispers coming from every corner of the house. The sounds grew louder until they became deafening screams. His heart raced, legs trembling. As he tried to break the door, the candle suddenly went out, plunging the room into total darkness. Just as the darkness enveloped him, he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. Imad's blood froze when he felt that cold hand. His body was taut with fear, unable to move. He tried to scream, but no sound emerged. He was breathing heavily, as if the air was trapped in his chest, while an invisible hand slowly touched him. Then he heard a faint voice, very close to his ear, as if from another world: "You shouldn't have returned." In a flash, terror turned into panic. Imad turned his head violently to see who was behind him, but there was nothing there. The room was empty, yet the feeling of the hand didn't go away. It slowly wrapped around his neck, the whispers growing stranger. At the moment he felt he was suffocating, the room suddenly lit up again, and once more his reflection appeared in the mirror, but this time he wasn't alone. Behind him stood the ghost of his grandfather, pale-faced, with lifeless eyes. He stared at Imad, then pointed to the ground. Imad's gaze followed the direction of the hand to a spot on the floorboards where something peculiar was hidden. With a racing heart, he summoned his courage and began lifting the wooden planks one by one. Under the last plank, he revealed an old, dust-covered box. It was locked, but the key was lying next to it, as if placed intentionally. Without hesitation, Imad inserted the key and opened the box. Inside were a collection of old letters. But what truly terrified him was a photograph of his grandfather with a group of mysterious men, all wearing black cloaks. Behind them was the same house, marked with an unfamiliar symbol carved into the walls. Below the photo was a handwritten note: "The fallen spirits will never leave us in peace." As Imad looked at the picture, the noises returned, louder this time. The whispers were speaking in an ancient language he didn't understand, and the atmosphere grew heavier. Suddenly, he felt something pulling his legs towards the box, as if a hidden force was trying to drag him inside. He fought back, but the pull grew stronger. Finally, with a loud scream, Imad vanished into the deep darkness of the box, leaving the house abandoned once more.